Today, Christians throughout the world will remember the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet and of the final meal with them in the private room in Jerusalem. The Jewish Passover feast was set to begin at sundown, so throughout this day Jews went to the temple to ceremoniously sacrifice a lamb for the Passover meal that night. Because the meal had to be eaten by dusk and within the Jerusalem walls, Jesus had a room prepared where he and his disciples would meet together and celebrate. This same evening, Jesus, taking off his outer garment, washed the feet of his disciples. Foot washing was a common practice. However, it was one that was always done by a servant. By his action, Jesus clearly demonstrated a model of how his followers are to live. In John 13 verse 14 we find his instruction. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet.
For Jesus, lowly service beyond what anyone might expect, is another hallmark of what it means to be his follower. In this deed, Jesus literally made them clean, but he also used this familiar practice and gave it a deeper meaning. They would be completely cleansed by his death on the cross, where their sins would be forgiven. Remarkably, we are to join Jesus in this work. John 13 verse 15 says, I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. And so we ask, how can I imitate Jesus' service to others? What can I do where I am? And we remember John chapter 13 verse 14. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet.